Sadly, it took horror and tragedy to inspire the changes, but for the first time in more than 40 years, funeral providers in Colorado are going to have to be licensed to do their jobs. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us at 4 o'clock on this Friday. I'm Tom Green.
And I'm Kim Christensen. This morning, Governor Jared Polis signed a bill into law that will regulate funeral homes, crematoriums, and embalmers. It comes after a legislative effort sparked by headlines of human remains being mishandled at funeral homes across our state. 9 News consumer investigator Steve Stager has been following this industry for months. You were there this morning, Steve. This was a long time coming and a somber day.
Absolutely. Usually bill signings are relatively joyful. This one started with a long moment of silence, remembering all of the loved ones whose remains have been mishandled by a handful of funeral directors across the state. Their families have lobbied for this change for years, and this morning they saw a step forward.
It's a lot of time with her. We had a lot of great memories with her.
Samantha Naranjo and her son Kyrie wore a photo on their chest Friday morning. Dorothy Tardif.
This is my grandmother, and this is his Gigi.
Her family had to be here.
It's time to professionalize the funeral industry in Colorado.
To witness this.
We're going to make sure that they actually are able to do what they say they're doing.
For the first time in 4 decades, funeral providers will have to carry a license in Colorado, opening them up to more inspection and holding them to higher standards than what happened to Samantha's grandma.
We did a ceremony in Woodland Park where we thought we had spread her ashes.
And Sheila's daughter.
That was horrific.
And Danielle's husband.
It's surreal to stand there and know that my story impacted 3 laws.
The regulation is a long time coming, 40 plus years since Colorado deregulated funeral homes. There have been very visible tragedies along the way. Body parts sold at Sunset Mesa Funeral Home in Montrose until an FBI raid in 2018. Decomposing bodies found inside the Return to Nature Funeral Home in Penrose last fall. And most recently, boxes of cremated remains and a woman's decomposed body found at the home of a former funeral director in Southwest Denver.
The last thing you're probably thinking about when you're trying to lay a loved one to rest is this business I'm going to reputable?
This is huge, because this does protect the consumer.
Protection that wouldn't have been possible.
I'm so happy that they allowed me to bring my son.
Without families willing to share their tragedies for change.
For him to be able to be here and know that he's part of Colorado history, and his Gigi, her legacy, means way more than her body being left in a building to rot for over a year.
The next step in this process, rulemaking. The Department of Regulatory Agencies is meeting with people who are impacted across the state over the summer. They'll then begin to lay out the rules for licenses in August. But the headline, anyone involved in this industry will have to be licensed, including a background check. In the studio, Steve Stager, 9 News.
Wow, it's really powerful to see them all together because we feel like we have shared in part in their grief. And then to see them have such a voice and make this change, it's wonderful.
So many voices. In fact, Danielle McCarthy, who you saw in the piece there, she's from the Sunset Mesa tragedy. Her husband was part of that. She said it was gratifying to see other families at this event speaking to the media, the people who haven't had their stories told. She was grateful just to see people getting their loved ones out there and having them remembered for more than just being inside of a building for so long.
Thank you for following up with all of them. We know that that's been tough to tell those stories too, Steve, and really gotten to know all of them, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
A 15-year-old is facing multiple charges for a shooting at an apartment complex in Greeley. A 17-year-old boy was shot and critically injured. Greeley police say the shooting happened Wednesday night on West 24th Street near 35th Avenue. Police believe this was a targeted attack. The 15-year-old is facing first-degree attempted murder. He's being held without bond at the Youth Correctional Facility.
Memorial Day weekend is upon us, and of course, it is the unofficial start to summer. Good thing it's not the official start to summer because it'd be a real mess.
It'd be worse than this?
No, it's not going to be much worse than this. This is the story, of course, today, this Friday afternoon. So many people trying to get west out of Denver into the high country. so many people that we're seeing these traffic delays. A live look from CDOT I-70 near the Loveland ski area. This is east of the tunnel. People trying to get up to and through the tunnel are finding a dead end up there because there's been an accident. 2 lanes have just opened up on the west side of the tunnel, but they'd been shut for an hour, so those backups are still making a big impact. You can also see some people getting off to try to make the way over on Loveland Pass instead of going through the tunnels. So it is one of those days. It's one of those days we expected, though, because the traffic on this Memorial Day weekend, beautiful weather, people want to get out and enjoy the long weekend. So we're going to keep you posted on the traffic throughout the next hour and a half or so and let you know how things are developing. If you look downtown, well, it's been busy down there too. You can see I-25 at the bottom there and moving along pretty well, but the weather, pretty nice. You can see some cloud cover, but blue skies today. A little bit cooler today. Let's get over to Kathy and talk about this weekend that everyone wants to get out and experience. Some of it's going to be pretty nice.
Yeah, it looks really good. Considering, Tom, it's the end of May, beginning of June coming up here. This is kind of our peak time for thunderstorms each and every afternoon, and when we can see hail-producing thunderstorms. So when you have a lot of traffic like you were discussing on I-70 and also on I-25, you factor in weather, any kind of weather, wind, rain, sleet, snow, whatever, and that would really mess things up. But things are going pretty good out there. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of volume on the roadways, but it's dry, it's calm. It is cooler with the arrival of that front yesterday. Temperatures came down out of the 80s into the upper 60s and lower 70s. We're tracking a few thunderstorms for Saturday afternoon, non-severe storms. The temperatures today, 70s in Pueblo and Lamar, 70 in Denver, 74 in Greeley, 72 in Fort Collins. Winds are picking up a bit over some of the higher passes and may impact your travel across Berthoud Pass and Loveland Pass. 2 hands on the steering wheel there, but the westerly winds will also be a warming wind and means temperatures will rebound nicely tomorrow. Tracking some heavy thunderstorms off to the east of us tonight and a few isolated rain and snow showers on the I-70 corridor up around the Vail Pass area and out across the western slope. Those showers are up pretty high and some are not even making it to the ground. Those traveling to Chicago, St. Louis, Memphis, and Dallas are going to run into airport delays and difficult travel by ground due to the thunderstorm potential there. For us, calm tonight, quiet for the start of your day tomorrow. A few thunderstorms late in the afternoon on Saturday. This temperature trend this evening is lovely, but will it last through the entire holiday weekend? I'll talk about that coming up.
If you're down here in Denver, you're thinking, well, it's Memorial Day weekend. Let's get outside. It's going to be nice. Yeah, you got to remember that in the high country, there are a lot of places that still have snow. Earlier this week, Lake County Search and Rescue had 2 calls for help, one on Mount Massive, one on Mount Elbert. Crews say there is still snow on the trails of the 14ers, making sure that you know so that you can pack appropriately.
As we said, Memorial Day is kind of a beginning of all things summer. That means time for the water slides in Denver to open up. Tomorrow, Water World will begin its season. Big year. It's the 45th anniversary at Water World. Water World expects to see nearly 500,000 visitors throughout the summer. And Elitch's will be opening its water park for summer this weekend as well. So, Tom, for some it's a little chilly still, but you don't need 100 degrees to just hit a water slide.
Yeah, the hard part is choosing.
Which one?
Choosing the water park that's right for you. Got to go through the whole checklist.
I don't know. This slide or this slide? Okay.
Hey, whether you're moving around or not, there's going to be some cool stuff happening in the skies of Colorado this weekend. Look up because the Colorado National Guard is going to be doing F-16 flyovers. They're going to happen tomorrow and Monday, of course, to commemorate Memorial Day. Tomorrow, the 140th Wing will fly over the Freedom Memorial in Aurora. That's set for 10 a.m. And there will be several of the flyovers on Monday. They'll be soaring over cities including Greeley, Monte Vista, Grand Lake, Denver, and Thornton. There is a schedule, so that'll help. You can find all the details in this story. Just go to 9news.com.
Northern Colorado is growing. New U.S. Census data says that Windsor is the fastest growing spot in the state. Windsor grew by 23.3% over the past 3 years. As of last July, the city is home to more than 40,000 people. That ranked as 23rd fastest growing municipality among cities with at least 20,000 people across the entire country. Timnath and Severance also had huge population gains in the last 3 years. Today, we are kicking off the 9 Cares Colorado Shares Spring Food Drive. It's a way for all of us to help families who are struggling with food insecurity.
And 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon was at the King Soopers in Erie for the kickoff today.
We're kicking off our 9 Cares Colorado Shares food drive today here at the Erie King Supers. It's really easy to donate when you're at the register here. You could just round up your order. Stephanie Gausch with Weld Food Bank is here with us today to tell us why we need these donations. How are you doing, Stephanie?
I am doing so well. These donations are so critical this time of year because children are much more at risk for hunger over the summer months. And your donation today goes right back to your community and can ensure that families that are in your neighborhood have plenty to eat over the summer months.
And we know that the need is rising, that the emergency food program you have, you're using that a lot?
Absolutely. We've seen about 100% increase over this time last year. So more people than ever are needing help. And it's short-term assistance, and that's why a donation can really help make a difference in somebody's life today.
Wow, well, thank you for being with us today, Stephanie. Appreciate it a ton.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, and just $1 equals 3 meals for a food bank, so every penny surely does count. In Erie, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.